All right, like they were eligible for the college football playoff, the Panthers were idle and still moved up a spot, but this time it was not because of a selection committee. It was because their old pal, the New Orleans Saints, beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday. That puts the Panthers in a tie for first place atop the NFC South here in mid-December with 4 crucial contests to go. Here to talk about it, listen, Deion Sanders had 53 career interceptions. My guy Eugene Robinson has 57. I'd like to point that out. What's up, Jeannie Rob?
I'm doing good, Boney. How you doing, man?
Good. Hey, you took one to the house. Did you high step? Like, what was the celebration on that one?
Yeah. I high stepped. Yeah, I took one to the house and high stepped it in, and I was like shaking the ball a little bit and whatnot. So that was pretty cool.
All right, Eugene, listen, you've been a part of this franchise and city for a quarter century. You got here in 2000 as a player. You've been involved with the team ever since. It's been a hard 8 years, man. What is it like, and we'll talk about what's to come with Carolina over these next 4 weeks, but what is it like to be having this conversation about playoffs, about meaningful football here a couple of weeks into December?
That's what I was saying. I was saying that earlier to one of my broadcast partners. I worked with Jim Zolke. I said, can you believe that we're talking about that the Panthers are in the conversation for a playoff? I mean, when you thought about this season, the start of the season, if we got better than 5 wins, you would take it. You go, okay, all right, Coach Canales, okay, you get 5, 6, 7 wins, you take that. But to have the conversation that we can be in the playoffs, that we're tied for first, that we control our own destiny, that's a different conversation. And this is something that's needed by this entire city, because the city gets behind the Carolina Panthers. When they do well, everything else looks better. Getting gas is better. I mean, it just feels so much better. And so I'm happy for the Carolina Panthers, happy for Coach Canales, Bryce Young, and that whole crew, because they have an opportunity to go ahead and make a statement. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but what I am saying is that you can find yourself in the playoff with a divisional home game.
All right, here talking to former Panther, former NFL star safety, and current member of the WCNC Charlotte team, Panthers media team, Eugene Robinson. Eugene, I want to play. I was over there today at Bank of America Stadium, and I found it funny. A lot of the TVs were still on Fox because everybody was watching Bucs Saints, because if the Saints could play spoiler against the Bucs and hand them another loss, it put together the situation we have today that we'll talk about, that Carolina is tied with Tampa for first place. So I want to give you a listen to what the team and head coach Dave Canales had to say about watching that game on their day off.
I was watching the game, yeah. Wanted to make sure that I was connected to the story of it. I got to be honest, I got a little emotionally involved in the game, at times. And, it's something I try to, remind our players is like, hey, watch these games. Let's try not to get too, emotionally connected. But how can you not? It impacts all of us in this division, and certainly it impacts us going into this week with another division opponent.
So I had Red Zone on the big TV, and then I had the Saints and Bucs on the phone. So yeah, I think it's weird, right? Especially this week where we play them immediately. Yeah. I'm just like, that was a dirty game. The rain was going. It was a mud pit down there, and that's always a fun game to be a part of too. And it's big time. Quarterback Tyler, I was a big fan yesterday. I had a couple big runs for him, so it was awesome. And now it's kind of like, all right, bonus Monday, we can laugh about it, and then we come back Wednesday. Let's get back to work, and we got to take care of it.
I don't think it was odd. I think it was just football being football. Any given Sunday. So I think we were already lucky to have that week to study for the Saints. Obviously because they beat us last go around. So we're excited to go to New Orleans this week.
Week 14 bye is it. Week 14.
I think when we played the Saints last, I didn't like how it went. So I'm watching it just to know that we're going to play that team. And the few past weeks they didn't, had some chippy games and that they could have pulled off, and they pulled that one off yesterday. So not as a fan, as a villain.
Turk Wharton watching as a villain. I love that, Eugene. I got to ask you, in your long career, there had to be a moment where you're sitting there watching a game, rooting for a team you would never root for. Does anything come to mind in that regard?
Yes, root for. I would never root for, when I was playing with Green Bay. I'm not rooting for the Chicago Bears to go ahead and win a game, or Detroit to win a game. I just not, unless they're playing an opponent. Like we were playing San Francisco, I'm like, okay, you can beat those guys right there, because that helps us. But I get what it is. This is the excitement that's happening in that locker room because they realize that they're really, really good and they're putting themselves in the conversation. And in the conversation, it is like, look, we can go ahead and have a playoff game and no telling what we can do once we get to the playoffs. And that's the conversation. And here it is, Boney. If you had told me that would be the conversation at the end of the season, I would have told you, I'm not sure, dude. You know, I think we're still in this learning phase. But this team has really come a long way. Even in the inconsistency, there's a lot of margin. So I like what I'm seeing, and I like what I'm hearing, you know, because these guys right now are getting excited and knowing that, hey, we're a lot better than what people think.
Okay, you root for the Saints on Sunday. The next Sunday, you got to go take care of business in the Superdome. And I know the Saints don't have the best record. They've got 3 wins. Guess who one of them's against? Carolina. You know, do you trust this Carolina team as they've been kind of learning to win to just handle business with something that, as they said, is right in front of them?
Yeah, think about this. They lost 17-7 here at Bank of America Stadium against a team they thought that they should have beaten easily, and it didn't happen. And Tyler Shuck has been playing crazy ball. He played lights out against Tampa Bay the other day. He played extremely well. He ran the ball like Josh Allen runs the ball. He was really noticeable. Even in our game, he was a standout guy and noticeable. And don't forget, they stacked the offensive line against the offensive line, 8-man front, and dared Bryce Young to go ahead and beat him passing the ball. And so there's a lot. If you're thinking about uncovering this game, there's a lot to go like this. Hey, we gave one away, and we should have definitely beat these cats right here. And now we have an opportunity to go down in their neighborhood and do it. We got to go ahead and get this done. And don't forget, you control your own destiny. Every team wants to win in November and win in December because when they do, they control their own destiny. And that's where we are right now. This team ain't no joke, though. I'm telling you, I underestimated Tyler Shuck. I did. I was like, oh, yeah, he is going to be all right. That dude looked great against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the other night. I'm like, this dude looks great. Okay, I take it back. This dude right here, he's a problem. Treat him as a problem. Treat him as a guy. Like, remember when Kurt Warner comes in for the Rams, when the other quarterback got
Green,
hurt, like this, who's this guy? They go like this, oh, man, he's not going to be anything. And now they figure out he's a guy? Yeah, Tyler Shuck is a guy. He's a very good quarterback who can beat you with his legs. So you got to make sure you take care of business. I'm spying him. I'm keeping him contained in the pocket. I'm making sure if he runs, he's going to run into somebody, a linebacker or a safety. I'm going to make sure there's somebody there when he takes off, that there's somebody to go ahead and meet him there. So I think you approach this game as a championship game saying, I got to have this one in New Orleans. Let me win it.
All right, we're going to talk more about Panthers Saints and the Panthers final stretch with Eugene Robinson here on Panthers on the Plus coming up. Here talking about the recently tied for first place Carolina Panthers with former Panther, former NFL safety, and current broadcaster Eugene Robinson. Eugene, we hear the phrase learning how to win. You've been a part of a lot of teams as a coach, a broadcaster, and a player, of course. What does learning how to win look like, and are the Panthers doing it?
So, no, they've been in the process, because in the process of learning how to win, you got to take your lumps. It's the ups and downs and not really seizing the moment, particularly with an opponent that you should think you should beat. Now, you know, Carolina Panthers beat some opponents that they weren't supposed to beat. They weren't supposed to beat the Green Bay Packers. They weren't supposed to beat the LA Rams. Those two teams were like off limits, all right? And now when you think about it, the Patriots, you know, hey, or the Jaguars, the way they've been playing. So here it is. You have to learn how to win. And we haven't done that consistently. And the way you do it is that you treat every game as is its own thing. I'm not worried about what I did last week. I don't even care what I did last week. I got to care what I'm about to do this week and how we're going to beat them. And I think a lot also, Boney, is put on the shoulders of the coaching staff. You got to come up with a good game plan. You got guys who can play. There's no doubt about that. You got guys who can rock and roll. You can run the ball with Rico Dowdle, and you can run the ball with Tuba Hubbard. That's down. You can throw the ball. You know you can, and you know your defense is good enough. All right. What game plan are you going to go ahead and put together to take away Olave, who killed us the last time? What game plan are you gonna put together that's gonna take away Shuck and not let him out the pocket to go ahead and extend the play? What game plan are you gonna go put together to go ahead and make those plays that, since they got 8 men at the line of scrimmage and trying to stop the run, that you're gonna get Bryce Young off right now? What are those plays? What do they look like? Are you going to XL? Are you going into the T-Mac? He's going to be double covered. Who's going to be that guy? Is it Jalen Coker? Who's stepping up? And when you step up, who's catching the ball? Because there was some drops in that game. And so I really believe that this is about more of the coaching staff than it is the players, of putting them in the right position and taking advantage of what the Saints can do and what they cannot do. The Saints give up 130 yards rushing. All right, run the rock. Run it, and if they stop you running the rock, then you play action them on first down. And that'll loosen them up. And you take a shot down the field. Just take a shot, any shot down the field. So I'm looking for that game plan from the coaching staff to go ahead and make the world of difference as we go down to New Orleans.
Yeah, let's build on that, especially from the offensive side, because in that New Orleans game, the run, Rico, run game plan, and really that had been it for a couple of weeks, ran out of steam, and they just weren't willing or couldn't take shots. So why do you think here a month or so later it will be different in the Superdome from the passing game specifically?
Okay, because here it is. We know that you've got an 8-man front. You got 8 guys down there. That means you got the corners covering. You got man-to-man. Typically you got a free safety who's free, but you got the guys covering the strong safety, and you got the 2 corners covering. All right, when they do that, you got all the gaps really taken away when you have an 8-man front. All the gaps are taken away. And so that's hard to run the ball. That means you got like 8, 9 people at the line of scrimmage. It's hard to run. So what do? You have to play action pass on first down. If they know you're a running team, they know you're going to run on first down, you may take a chance on second down and not run the ball, but typically you're going to run on second down. Well, now I'm going to tell Coach Canales, change it up. First down, second down, I'm going to have play action pass in my pocket, meaning I'm going to come out in a running formation, and on those specific downs, first and second downs, I'm going to try to gas you because I know you're going to have an 8-man front. And I know that's cover 3 or that's cover 1. The only 2 coverages you're going to have. That's typically that. Well, guess what? If you're going to line cover 3 and cover 1, that means somebody's vulnerable on the outside. And my ass T-Mac, get open. Jalen Coker, get open. Body those cornerbacks. Body those cornerbacks. And so that's what I'm asking them to go ahead and do. This game is going to be about the coaching staff, I'm telling you, and not so much the players. The players are going to execute. I believe they're going to execute. What are you going to put us, and how are you going to be able to pivot when you see that 8-man front? Well, I'm telling you, Boney, play action pass first down, play action pass second down.
How confident are you that this group can handle success? Because, they haven't lost 2 in a row since weeks 1 and 2, but they haven't won 2 in a row in 2 months. So they come off this big win against the Rams. As they say, it's all in front of them. How do they handle the success, do you think?
The only way that you handle success is that you got to win. What happens is winning is contagious and losing is contagious, and so is an empty season contagious, because you give yourself I was like, oh, I'll make that play the next time. Yeah, I'll make that play the next time. No. You got to make that play now. Now. There is no next time. There is no next time at all. And so what I mean by it's contagious, when down in that locker room, I was down there today, and just hearing the enthusiasm of this team coming off a bye week, they're enthused, they're excited, they can't wait to go ahead and play, right? And that's part of the beginning of, consistently playing well and enjoying the success. So I like where we are, I like the framework where we are, and I like the fact that these guys are so excited and jacked up and ready to go down and play New Orleans. That's opposed to, oh man, we got to play New Orleans. Oh man, we don't play well out here. No, throw that out the window.
Eugene, you talked about how part of learning how to win is to not look ahead. From some of the guys in the locker room today, it sounds like, they're looking back a little bit to that game against New Orleans that you mentioned. They thought they should have won, and they really should have. How motivating can that be for a player where, okay, now I've got it all in front of me, you're not going to do this to me again, right? Like, that's got to be motivating.
Yeah, if I'm Bryce Young, I'm watching that film over and over again. And I'm going to look at the opportunities where I didn't throw the ball well and where I, quite frankly, I just missed guys. And then my receiving core, I'm going to get those guys together too and say, we're going to look at this together where you didn't catch the rock, where you didn't run the right route, where you could have went through the zone. I want to go ahead and do this together as a group, not so much as the coaches together, but as a group, so you can see, hey, man, do we leave this on the table? I mean, this T-Mac dropped the ball that was coming right on the outside for a first down, right? Boom. Hit him right in the hands, dropped him. You can't say, I'm going to get the next one, all right? As good as you are, T-Mac, I can't say, you got to get the next one. You got to get that one. You got to get that one. And so from that standpoint, I'm watching that game as offensively and saying, hey, dude, we left some stuff out there and we really gave them one. And if you look at this is not our MO and this is not our DNA. This is not the character of this team. We're much better than that. And we laid an egg. We're going to go out there and win a big game. So get together with these guys, man, Bryce. Get together. That's part of you being a leader, man. Get together with your guys and corral those guys and say, hey, man, let's see what we're going to go ahead and do. And watch film together on your own, not with the coaches, but on your own, that we used to do with some of the defensive back stuff. And, man, we watch it together as a group.
Well, I don't think J.C. Horn's going to slip twice in this one. And looks like he's in a positive direction to get out of concussion protocol. So to me, like, he's another guy I can't wait to talk to this week about. Like, he had probably his worst game visibly as a pro a month ago against the Saints, and now he's got another chance against Olave and company.
You know, and I thought that the fact that when he slipped with Olave kind of pushed him on that long.
Definitely could have, yep.
Yeah, and here it is, Boney. I thought that was more of a technique thing, not turning the right way. Because if he turns, he's facing him, they're face to face. And so he's face to face. And so to look at the ball that's coming up to you, you got to lean back a little bit and look at the ball. It throws you off stride. If somebody even pushes a little bit, you're going to fall. However, if you turn your back to him and you run with him, you can place your elbow on his chest and still run smoothly down the field with him and then start to lean on him when the ball's coming. And now you got the perfect sight. So I thought that was based on a wrong technique, that he should employ a different technique that led to that push and that fall down and that big, long touchdown. I don't think he's going to make the same mistake.
All right, one more segment to go with Eugene Robinson here on Panthers on the Plus, talking about a playoff push. We're coming back in a minute. Welcome back to Panthers on the Plus. I'm your host, Nick Carboni, sports director at WCNC Charlotte. Joining me now is longtime NFL safety and broadcaster Eugene Robinson. All right, Eugene, 4 games to go. And like the Panthers have said, it's all set up in front of them. The Bucs lose to the Saints. Now you got to go beat the Saints and then potentially the Bucs twice. There's a scenario in which if the Falcons beat the Bucs on Thursday night and the Panthers beat the Saints on Sunday afternoon, then next week's game against Tampa at the Bank is for a playoff spot for the Panthers, which would be incredible, and to do it in Charlotte like we've talked about. You know, if you're a player, you don't want to look ahead, right? You got to take it game to game, but how do you kind of frame this last quarter, and I know it's 17 games and not 16 anymore, of this season? How do you frame that in your mind as you come off the bye and have this crucial stretch here?
Each game should be thought of as a championship game because you have a chance to get into the playoffs, right? And the more that you can win early, the easier it is to set you up so that you're not struggling on the back end of the four games. You're going to know that. Everybody knows that. So that's why this first game is important. And that's why you got to delve into this first game with the utmost concentration. I got to get this job done. Now, I'm going to let the coaches kind of worry about what's going to happen game 2, game 3, game 4. But this is game 1. It's championship game. So I want to be really steely focused, but I would be lying to you because they know what you know and I know, that if they beat them and if there is a loss, they know that, hey, wait a minute, we could be really setting ourselves up. So here's the thing. It's all good for the Carolina Panthers. It's looking all good. Now you got to go ahead and seize the moment. This is the time where you say, and if you're in the secondary, if the ball comes in, you make the interception, you make it. You don't knock it down. You don't go ahead because you don't get that opportunity back. You have a chance to get the fumble, all right, and you want to look all good. Hey, well, just recover the fumble. If you think that you're not going to go ahead and catch the punt and people are around you, well, guess what? Don't catch the punt. Let the ball drop. Guess what? Because guess what? You retain possession of the ball instead of getting in there a little precarious and unstable and having a turnover on a special teams play. So this is really about being clean football, being excited about what you're doing, and playing to the whistle and looking for every opportunity. You gotta take advantage of the ball when it comes to you, or the sack when it comes to you, or you just got or the knockdown when it comes to you. And if who can be mistake-free, those little penalties, get those out the way, dude. I'm telling you, Carolina Panthers, you will find yourself in a playoff game with a home game.
You know, if you had looked at that closing 5-game stretch on paper before the Rams game, and you had Rams and then Saints, but Bucks twice, Seahawks, like, it looked a lot more daunting than it did after you beat the Rams and got the big boss out of the way early. Like, how much confidence does that win from last week give this Carolina team heading forward?
I'm glad we had the bye because we got so much guys to get healthy and get into a really good frame of mind. But winning against the Rams was a signature win for the Carolina Panthers. It said to them that we belong. It told Mike Jackson this, our right corner, Mike Jack, opposite J.C. Horn, that, hey, try me if you want to. Puka Nacua is one of the best receivers in the land. I tell you what, he had a great interception against him, and then Puka had an incredible catch down towards the end zone that Jack was with him. But what Jack was saying that, try me if you want to. I know that J.C. Horn's a guy, but I'm a guy too. And so that's what you're getting across the board. Across the board from the defensive line. Dick Brown, Wharton, and that whole crew. The other Brown, you got Robinson. All them dudes down there scoring. All them dudes down there trying to go ahead and eat. Secondary, trying to go ahead and eat. Ransom was a beast, trying to go ahead and eat. If I'm Merrick and I'm Nick Scott, I'm like, dude, I got to play my game because this dude behind me, man, this dude can have my job. All right, so from that standpoint, everybody's excited. And when you see how this team is put together and how this team is really in lockstep and how much they have so much to give, I'm telling you, I think the Saints are in trouble, and I think the Bucks are in trouble. And I think that don't pistol that the Seattle Seahawks is going to win a game. I don't believe that. I think that this team right here, the Panthers, is one of the hottest teams right now. And because they're one of the hottest teams, I think we have a great chance of writing our own ticket to a playoff game.
Eugene, you look back at that Rams box sheet and clean football. They took care of the ball. They took the ball away. They were really good situationally and on special teams. That's a recipe for a win any week against any opponent. But offensively, did Dave Canales, Bryce Young, and Carolina find their true identity or what it needs to be in that LA game? And can they carry, emphasis on that word, that going forward? Because you had 35 running back design runs split basically evenly between Chuba and Rico.
Yes, I think that's the formula moving forward. And don't forget, in that third quarter, I think they held the ball for 12 minutes.
Yeah.
They kept that team off the field for 12 minutes in that third quarter. When it came to a couple of fourth downs yielded touchdowns. Touchdowns when you have a loaded box and people come in and go to rush the quarterback. The offensive line did a beautiful job of blocking, giving enough time to allow Teodoro McMillan, to go ahead and alter his route a little bit and for Bryce to throw him open for a touchdown. Yes, I think the recipe going forward is we run the ball so well, we dare you to stop the run, get an 8-man box. And if you get an 8-man box, we're going to play action you and we're going to kill you because we can go ahead and do it. We're able to do that, and we saw the evidence of it against a good team, a quality team and a quality defense in the Rams.
All right, man. This is fake brick behind me, but I'm ready to run through it. Eugene Robinson, NFL legend and broadcaster, thanks for your time. And we know you're going to be back here with Nick Sturdivant on WCNC Plus Thursday. That'll be a big Thursday because, everybody's rooting for the Saints, and now they're going to be rooting for the Falcons. It's weird times in the NFC South.
You know that's right. We'll take it, though.
Thanks, Eugene.
All right, Bowman.